Manny, good to see you. How you doing? Evening. Pablo, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? Scott, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? What else? Good to see you, brother. How you doing? How you been? How's everyone doing today? How's your day? Was good? How's your day, Scott? How's your business? Business was good. Good day, Miles. Mike, good to see you. How you doing? I've been doing pretty good. Let's go, Scott. Hey, Miles. Dale, good to see you. How you doing? Great. Let's go, Scott. Great. Let's go, Scott. Dennis, good to see you. How you doing? I'm investing, Miles. Let's go, Scott. And by the way, can anyone check what episode it says on X? Has it been fixed, or does it still say episode 127? Because technically we're on episode 135. No, it's not fixed. I just got a notification. It still says 100 episode 127. Don't forget me. Never will, Scott. How are you, Miles? I'm doing great. How are you doing, Callie? Ian, good to see you. How are you doing? Evening. By the way, thank you so much to everyone that's retweeting and liking this live show as well right at the beginning. Yeah, on YouTube, it says it's episode 135. On X, it says it's episode 127, but it's actually episode 135. So Restream still hasn't fixed it. They're still looking into it. They said there's a bug in the system. And when I multi-stream into YouTube and X, YouTube shows the correct title. However, X, it's still showing a title that I typed in a very long time ago at episode 127. But they're fixing it. They said give us 72 hours. So within 72 hours or 48 hours, it should be fixed regarding the title, which is a good thing. Hi, Miles and CMF. George, good to see you. How you doing? Ian, good to see you. How you doing? Thank you, Scott, for checking. And what else checking? And JP, thanks so much for checking as well. And JP, by the looks of it, you were correct. It was 7 minutes. I saw notifications. So let's do a gist of what we're going to go through on tonight's live show before we go. So we'll do, we'll do a gist of the topics we're going to go through on tonight's live show, and then we do the intro, disclaimer, and by that time, everyone's tuned in for the first part of the live show. So on tonight's CMF live show, we are going to be talking about crypto firms, mainly about how much money has crypto firms spent on politicians. The numbers will shock you in terms of percentage of how much Coinbase, Ripple, and a few other major crypto firms have spent on politicians to get them in favor of cryptocurrencies. The percentage will actually shock you. And then we're going to be talking about on tonight's live show regarding Kamala Harris, which is a sore subject. But Kamala Harris, apparently, somebody from Kamala Harris's team has decided to go to a news channel and say to this particular news channel that they are pro-crypto and they're going to be bringing out regulations. We're also going to be talking about on tonight's live show regarding Prometheum. Now, Prometheum was a crypto exchange that was set up by the SEC. They have a lot of SEC former members inside of it. They were easily green-lighted by Gary Gensler, and they decided to add Uniswap and Arbitrum to their list of tokens. But what's interesting is they put them under the category of securities. So this is definitely going to affect the whole Uniswap situation regarding their case that's going on with the SEC and Uniswap. We're also going to be going through the topic on tonight's live show regarding a huge cryptocurrency step from Latin America. One of the largest companies in Latin America has just entered the crypto space. So we're going to go through that on tonight's live show as well. We're also going to be talking about Tether on tonight's live show as well, and how Tether has decided to enter the ranks of the UAE, but with a UAE stablecoin. Now, is this trying to go against Ripple stablecoin or USDC? Tether did lose their spot of #1 spot in the EU in terms of stablecoins due to the MiCA regulations. So Tether is now aiming for the UAE, which is slowly becoming Ripple's territory. But we're going to go through that on tonight's live show as well. We're also going to be talking about BNB, which is a subject we rarely talk about on this live show. However, It seems like CZ is back in the picture and he's being resued for some other financial situations, and that Binance and BNB are taking the blow for it. So we're going to go through that. And is BNB or Binance going to be going through more legal hurdles, which is definitely going to cause a volatile stage inside the crypto space? We're also going to be talking about TraderFi on tonight's live show as well. TraderFi essentially underestimates Bitcoin's enormous scale, a perspective coming from Franklin Templeton's CEO. And we're going to be going through the news topic of Swiss banks on tonight's live show as well. Swiss banks are embracing instant payments. Now, there's a certain percentage of Swiss banks that are actually working with one particular company. I think you can take a guess on what that company is, but when we get to that news, I'll let you know. We're also going to be talking about Skyfire, which is a new crypto platform. So Skyfire has launched a blockchain payment network that lets AI spend your money for you. Now, this company was developed by former Ripple members. We're also going to be talking about tonight's live show regarding El Salvador. El Salvador has introduced new certification programs to teach their 80,000 civil servants on what cryptocurrencies are, what is blockchain technology, how to live in a digital world, and so on, which I think is absolutely amazing to be doing. We're also going to be going through the news of a perspective from the CEO of Bitwise. Bitwise's CEO has essentially came out to give a perspective on Bitcoin ETFs and how much institutional movement is happening and how much more is going to come towards it. So quite a mixture of news to go through regarding perspectives on the Bitcoin movements, perspectives from CEOs and executive board members, Ripple former members creating a new company called Fire, and then some other perspectives regarding the voting situation, how much money is being spent on crypto money, on votings, on politicians, and new movements that are happening in Switzerland and the UAE to go through mainly on tonight's live show. But before we go through any of that news, welcome to the CMF live show. If you are watching this for the first time ever, welcome to the CMF live show. It stands for Crypto Miles Family. And on this live show, you can tune in every single night on X or on YouTube Live at this exact same time you're watching me right now, every single night. And I talk about the most recent things that's happening around the world in terms of cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, AI, politics, regulations, and everything that I say. Just want a heads up. Disclaimer of this live show, as always, is not financial advice, not political advice, and whatever I say is only for entertainment purposes. So welcome to the CMF live show. If you're watching it for the first time ever, if you're a regular, let's go CMF. And we also do live Q&As as well, which means if you have any questions, put it down in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer the questions you may have. So first news we are going to be going through is regarding crypto firms and how much money they've spent on politicians to get them in favor of crypto regulations. But before we go through that news, let's go to the comment section first. George, good to see you as well. How you doing? Funky brother. Good evening, Professor Miles and the rest of the hopefuls. Let's go, Funky brother. How are you, brother Miles? I'm doing great, Funky brother. Messi, good to see you as well. How you doing? Even the Miles and CMF peeps. Sempro, let's go. How you doing? Why are we coming later and later every day? Yeah, apologies about that. Lies, 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 pants on fire, politicians. Let's go, Scott. JP, you think 75% of crypto money is being spent on politicians? That's an interesting outcome. Kennedy will endorse Trump on Friday. Vote Kamala is what app says. And yeah, so regarding Kennedy is dropping out. Yes, there are rumors going around that JF Kennedy is going to be dropping out and he's going to be endorsing Donald Trump. I'm very doubtful if he is dropping out, I'm very doubtful he's going to be endorsing Kamala Harris because Kamala Harris is not pro-crypto, which makes sense for Kennedy to be endorsing Donald Trump, who, just like him, it's Bitcoin, blockchain, pro-cryptocurrencies and so on. It makes sense of him backing Donald Trump. And there was an interview by CNN today that they were asking Donald Trump questions, and they said, would you, essentially accept Kennedy to be a part of your team, you're part of your administration and so on, if you do become elected and so on? And Donald Trump said, yeah, he's a very intelligent person and he would love to have him on his team and he would love to have Elon on his team as well. That would be, as I said yesterday, Elon Musk and Donald Trump is already a good combination, but adding Kennedy to the ranks as well makes it even better. So, moving on from that subject to the first news on tonight's live show. But what does everybody think just on that perspective of Kennedy, Trump, and Elon? On one side, you have Kamala Harris, and the other side, you have Trump, Elon Musk, and Kennedy. I mean, that is just, comatose put in the best way. What a powerhouse. Hey Miles, how are you doing? Is BlackRock and Ripple, are they in contact concerning Ripple ETF? Is BlackRock and Ripple in contact? BlackRock and Ripple have been in contact previously. Before the case, they were in contact. During the case, slight contact. But after the case, we haven't heard anything on paper or in terms of news articles of them being some sort of a connection, but they most likely are in contact. But regarding a Ripple an XRP ETF, no, nothing official. I went on the website for the Bank of England and exactly what you said last night. So much BS regarding digital pound. It's scary. Facts. Let's go, funky brother. Good evening, Miles of CMF. Orphan, good to see you. How you doing? I was just throwing something out there. It's probably like 35% or 45%. Let's go, JP. John Kennedy, what a powerhouse. Yep, it all sounds good, but I doubt Elon will be there. I'm 50-50 with Kennedy. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, here's the first topic of tonight's live show, which is crypto firms impact 2024 US elections. So here is a little detailed explanation of how much money from crypto companies has been invested into politicians to get them, in favor of cryptocurrencies and regulations and obviously sway the votes. Public Citizen has released a report that sheds light on essentially how the funds from cryptocurrency companies are likely to shape the 2024 US elections. The report dated August 21st highlights that approximately $119 million has been utilized by crypto firms to sway federal elections, primarily via contributions to political action committees, PAC, such as Fairshake. That's just one. $119 million is just one endorsement, and it's been to multiple politicians. How are crypto firms involved? The report indicates that nearly 48% of the $248 million in corporate funds spent on 2024 US elections originated from crypto enthusiasts, with Coinbase and Ripple contributing the most. 48% of the contributions towards these politicians was coming from mostly Coinbase and Ripple to all these politicians that are in favor of cryptocurrencies, and they try to sway the votes towards more crypto-friendly movements. Public Citizen's analysis of Federal Elections Commission (FEC) filings reveals that donations from these crypto companies have far outstripped those from Koch Industries, long known for its support of the right-wing politicians. There was so much money coming in from crypto firms towards politicians that the crypto money is decided to outperform the traditional money that normally comes into politicians' pockets. Which companies are contributing? Notably, Fairshake received around $108 million directly from firms poised to benefit from the PAC's activists. Major contributions including Coinbase, Ripple, and Gemini co-founder brothers, as well as Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong. Despite Ripple facing legal setbacks amongst the US Securities Exchange Commission back essentially in August, Coinbase continues its legal battles with the regulator. Key influences on electoral races. Fairshake and its affiliates, such as Defend American Jobs and Protect Progress PACs, have played influential roles in critical primaries leading up to the general elections in November. Public Citizen reports that candidates supported by these PACs won 36 out of 42 races, thanks to an attack ads against anti-crypto candidates or media buys backing pro-crypto contenders. Potential election outcomes. With control of US Senate, House of Representatives, and presidency at stake, the 2024 elections could swing in favor of either major political party. Tight races are anticipated, making external financial influences potentially decisive for undecided voters. Strategic spending plans. Fairshake has earned $12 million to support Republican Bernie Moreno against the Democratic Party Sherrod Brown in the Ohio state race. Additionally, Democratic John Tester, seeking re-election in Montana, may face financial opposition from the crypto super PAC. So crypto companies are definitely trying to sway their outcomes towards themselves, which is a positive thing. Concrete insight. So these are some tips on the matter of what's going on, some bullet points. Concrete insight from the Public Citizen reports include, these are the bullet points from the major report that's just came out. Crypto firms have allocated $119 million to influence federal elections. 48% of corporate election funds come from crypto supporters. Fairshake, a major PAC, is receiving significant contributions from the crypto industry. Crypto-backed candidates have won the majority of the races influenced by the PAC spending. So for all the politicians that are getting paid off by crypto companies are actually winning the races. The streak spending continues, targeting specific Senate races continuation. Conclusion. As the 2024 elections approach, the impact of cryptocurrency fundings on political outcomes becomes increasingly evident. The substantial financial contributions from the crypto sector highlights its growing influence within the political arena, signaling a pivotal role in shaping the future policy direction. So it seems like, by the looks of it, that a lot of money from crypto companies are going into politicians' pockets to weigh the outcome into pro-crypto candidates and pro-crypto regulations, and this is absolutely amazing to see. As I've said before, politics is pretty much the main thing when it comes to any sort of market space, and yeah, 48% is quite a high number, but also the pro-crypto candidates are actually winning because of all the endorsements from crypto companies like Ripple and Coinbase, which are the biggest contributors. Now, the next news we are going to be talking about on tonight's live show is Kamala Harris, which is a sore subject for me and a lot of people. Kamala Harris apparently is interested in cryptocurrencies. She has not herself came out and said, I'm pro-crypto or been to any sort of cryptocurrency events. But a member of her team said to a news anchor that she is pro-crypto and there could be regulations coming out on her campaign. Now, knowing Kamala Harris, she is full of BS head to toe, and that if she was pro-crypto during her administration, being under Biden, being a VP, she maybe could have let some crypto regulations happen instead of vetoing them alongside Biden and Gary Gensler. Or if she is pro-crypto, why is she, want Gary Gensler alongside her when she does grow and, essentially maybe win if there's a miracle happening? But if she is pro-crypto, the movements that she's doing is not saying that she's pro-crypto. Having Gary Gensler alongside you is not pro-crypto. Vetoing crypto regulations while you were in the Biden administration is not pro-crypto. So there's a lot of things that can go along and say she's not pro-crypto, but everybody gets the sense. So Kamala Harris signals interest in friendlier stance on cryptocurrencies. We'll all pretend that's real for the time being. For about 2 minutes, we're all going to pretend that's real. And this is an article coming from Bloomberg. The cryptocurrency industry has made no secret of its displeasure with the Biden administration approach towards regulating the digital assets. Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris will support policy efforts to encourage the growth of the cryptocurrency industry. One of her top campaign officials said, this is what she said, she's going to support policies that ensure that the emerging technologies and that the sort of industries can continue to grow. What sort of industries? You couldn't say blockchain, for crying out loud? Said Brian Nelson, the senior advisor for policy for the Harris campaign, speaking during a Bloomberg roundtable, the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. The growing political clout of the crypto industry is among the stories of 2024 presidential race, with first independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and then the GOP Donald Trump's both promising highly friendly approaches towards regulations should they take office in 2025. The industry generally has been displeased with what it sees as the highly unfriendly regulatory approach from the Biden administration. Obviously, they've expressed that one of the things that they need essentially are stable rules and regulations. Rules of the road, continued Nelson, suggesting a Harris administration will still be interested putting in place safeguards for industries that have seen numbers of sizable collapses in recent years. So, once again, Kamala Harris spewing lies. She's used to it by now, and so is the administration. I mean, they're leveraging votes and telling people we're going to stop inflation, we're going to stop the wars, we're going to save people, we're going to tax the rich. Ironically, tax the rich is the number one policy for all politicians, well, all presidents and prime ministers, pretty much every 4 years. Every 4 years, a new president will come out and say, my policy is to tax the rich. Never happens. You know why? Because there are loopholes within regulations. And those loopholes will stay there forever. But the number one policy, if you go back to every 4 years, go back and look at every president, it's the same policy. We're going to tax the rich. There are loopholes within regulations, so you can't tax the rich. And those loopholes have stayed there since the act was invented. The act could have been invented in the 1980s, but it's there. It's never going to be removed. But, you know, people like false hope. Now, before we go through the next news, let's go through the comment section first. And the best part is, every time a president gets on stage and goes, we are going to tax the rich, everybody goes in the crowd wild and starts clapping, yes, tax the rich, tax the rich. But it's the same policy every 4 years, and the rich never get taxed, and they're never going to get taxed. But, you know, people are easily fooled. It's the same policy every 4 years. The same policies every 4 years, it repeats by it. But as I like to always say, so history will always repeat itself. Why does history repeat itself always? Well, because, very simple, people are forgetful. Now, Trump, Kennedy, Elon, water powers, yep, it all sounds good. Let's see where we were at the conversation. Also, Miles, the CMF. Bill, good to see you as well. How you doing? XRP news today? Yes, towards the end. Miles, the UK's treasury crypto grew. Let's go. I am the rebel spy. Miles, I have a question for you. When CBDCs are fully implemented and in use, how do we convert our cryptos to Great British pounds and spend them if they don't allow us? When CBDCs are fully implemented, how do you how do we convert our crypto? You don't need to convert your cryptos. There's a lot of places that will accept cryptocurrencies and CBDCs alongside both. You don't need to convert them. Thank you, 45%. I'll take that. Long. Let's go, JP. But yeah, the reason why cryptocurrencies and CBDCs will coexist alongside each other, unlike cash, I mean, cash is just going to become an illusion. They're telling people cash is going to coexist alongside CBDCs, which is the biggest BS I've ever heard, because a lot of places already don't accept cash, and we're not even in a CBDC world. But once we go fully into a CBDC world, cash won't coexist alongside CBDCs. However, cryptocurrencies will coexist against CBDCs. CBDCs are pretty much for everyone and the peasants. Cryptocurrencies are going to be for the intelligent. But if you want to be intelligent, you know, if you want to be more intelligent than your peers, then obviously choosing a crypto project, which is the backbone for CBDCs, is a better outcome, which is XRP. But no, they're going to coexist alongside each other. Bank of England have already said that they will not allow business and individuals to have too much currency to hold, which is very factual, yes. Yesterday, I revealed on this live show that the Bank of England has released a new document on their own website, which states that they're going to be coming up with the British pounds. And it also went for a Q&A where they asked themselves their own selves questions with answers on the Bank of England website on regarding the CBDCs that they're coming out with. And ironically, CBDCs are no longer named CBDCs, because when people hear the word CBDC, they think, oh no, no more privacy and, you know, control and freeze and seize and expiry dates. So they've just taken the word CBDC out of the new document from the Bank of England and just put digital pounds, because that will obviously make people think, oh, this is friendly, it's digital pounds, it's not CBDCs, but it is. Every country is going to be doing that as well. Every country is going to be taking the word CBDC out of their new documents they're going to be coming out with, and instead they're just going to call it digital euros, digital dollars, to make it sound more friendly for people. Because the word CBDCs puts fear in people, but digital pounds and digital euros is like a cuddly bear, apparently. It was actually, you know, it was actually discussed in the Bank of International Settlements meeting to stop calling it CBDC. They should just call it digital pounds, digital euros, digital dollars. What's this CBDC word we keep on adding to it? But yeah, Do you think that Bank of England said that they will not allow, and yes, regarding the Bank of England, they said that they're not going to be allowing any sort of individuals or businesses hold a certain amount of digital pounds. So the Bank of England is going to limit people on holding how much digital pounds they can hold, £3,000. Back in 2022, the Bank of England suggested that the max someone should hold in their bank accounts and their, CBDC wallets is 3,000 British pounds a month max you can hold in CBDCs. While as the politicians said 5,000 makes more sense. But either way, if your limit is £3,000 a month or 5,000 a month, the chances of you being able to buy a house somewhere down the road is slim to none. Which means it goes back to that good old saying from the World Economic Forum, which was, you will own nothing by 2030 and be happy. Do you think that BRICS will, and it says this on their own website, Bank of England website, new updated version. Do you think that BRICS will affect the crypto ecosystem? Do I think that BRICS will affect the crypto ecosystem? No. BRICS is going to be for cross-border payments between these nations within the BRICS ecosystem, which is Brazil, Russia, India, and China, and South Africa, which the other countries that have also added to the list as well. Now, here's the thing regarding BRICS. BRICS is a part of the Bank of International Settlements, and the Bank of International Settlements has 60 centralized banks under its belt, which means all these centralized banks are all working together. So the UK bank, it may seem like BRICS is against the UK or BRICS is against, the US or so on and so on. But in reality, they're all sitting at the same table. They're all under the Bank of International Settlements. All of their centralized banks are under the Bank of International Settlements, which is the banks of all central banks. But no, it's not going to affect the crypto ecosystem in any sort of a way. But the regulations will. Regulations will impact quite a lot of cryptocurrencies, because a lot of cryptocurrencies, no matter how big the cryptocurrency is, won't be able to operate under certain regulations. For example, the EU regulations, we're going to MiCA regulations, which are affecting some stablecoin projects. One of them being essentially USDT. Actually, USDC is climbing the ranks compared to USDT in the EU, because USDT can't operate. And as we go more and more into regulations, a lot of crypto projects are just going to be pushed to the side, no matter how big they are. And USDT is massive, but it's being pushed to the side in the EU. And if the EU is trying to push it to the side, other nations will follow. Ironically, Hong Kong is another place that's going to be replicating the regulations from the EU. Hong Kong has a digital sandbox. A digital sandbox is where crypto platforms will test out their projects before it's fully implemented on a domestic basis within that jurisdiction. Now, in Hong Kong's digital sandbox for stablecoins, Tether is not listed, which means USDT is losing hope in Hong Kong in the long term, the same way it is in the EU. Hi, Miles. How far are we from regulation so XRP can reach $100? Is it likely for another drop in the market? A drop inside the market is always anticipated. Always expect some sort of speed bumps and manipulations in any market space. It could be crypto, Wall Street, real estate, any sort of market space. Always expect some sort of manipulation. It's always an outcome. And regarding regulations, how far we also XRP can do better for itself regarding regulations, we're not that far off. We have more regulations than ever before, but we need still a bit more. We need the right regulations, and the right regulations are cross-border regulations. U.S. Harris campaign advisor Brian Nelson announced his support for policies to grow #crypto industry at News Crypto. Yep, that's true. Just out miles. Yep, I just read that one. Actually, I read that news that was the first about 2 seconds ago. Regarding Kamala Harris's campaign apparently is endorsing cryptocurrency, and one person is apparently endorsing cryptocurrencies, but she's still full of BS, and that person wouldn't take it too far. Kamala Harris is the same person that tried to veto crypto regulations when Congress was trying to pass crypto regulations. Kamala Harris was the same person alongside the Biden administration that was trying to veto these regulations. She's also the same person that's trying to give Gary Gensler a much more powerful job. The rich owns the politicians, which is factual. Morning, Miles of CMF. Shelly, good to see you. How you doing? Morning. US politics are evil. It's not just US politics. Politicians are evil. Politicians in general are the most useless people on this planet. Hi, brother. Come on, let's go. Honestly, if you really think about it, from any job in this world, any job category, politicians are pretty much the most useless people on this planet. Because a doctor will save lives. An engineer will create and build. A technician, you could say the same thing in terms of innovation. A nurse would help people. A mechanic will fix your car. A builder will build you a house. A plumber will fix your pipes. Electrician will, create electricity for your house, and so on. Every job category, there's actually a use case for it on this planet, except a politician. In general, politicians are the most useless category as a job. They do nothing all day long and then get money from you who are actually doing a job, because they have access to your tax-paying money. But if you really think about it genuinely, every job category, there's a purpose for it in this world, except a politician. They do nothing. They promise and then lie. That's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and they steal from your tax-paying money. But yeah, any other job, doctor saves lives, nurse helps people, builder builds your house, electrician does your electrics, a plumber does your plumbing, and the list just goes on. Mechanic fixes your car. But a politician does what exactly? What value does it add to society? The answer is nothing. Miles, do you think it's a good idea to have a TikTok shop affiliate and my own website? I would say do TikTok shop affiliate first and then your own website. Come on, let's go. How you doing? That's why the pools are there. Thank you, Lon. Let's go, JP. We need rich. We need rich. I never seen a poor person give another poor person a job, but rich people do give jobs. That's true. It's what makes the world go around, which is also true. It does, 100%. What's interesting is that the people that are supporting Kamala Harris say that billionaires are bad people and that millionaires are bad people and that billionaires should not be giving out some sort of advice. Billionaires are not good to run the country. Who is exactly? But what's interesting is that a businessman is not fit to run a country. But what's interesting is that, putting that to one side, the irony about that entire story is that Kamala Harris did a campaign where she had a lot of people come in and endorsing her, and she had billionaires on the stage. These billionaires on the stage were saying, I'm a billionaire and I know what's right, and people were clapping. But you criticize Trump for being a billionaire. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. One, how brainwashed can you get? And two, how can you be against a billionaire but at the same time be for a billionaire? It's either you're against it or you're for it. You can't be both. So how do we borrow or take loans? We're going to cryptocurrencies. When when we go more into regulations, banks like HSBC Bank or Standard Chartered Bank will be offering loans against you, or essentially you can use your cryptocurrencies and borrow against it from banks like HSBC or Standard Chartered Bank, where you would use your cryptocurrencies as collateral and then you borrow against it. And they will when you don't get taxed on debt either, so which means it's the easiest way to skip tax. All the wealthy people will be borrowing against their cryptocurrencies and using as collateral, while as the normal folks, the majority of them will end up most likely selling, which is a bad move, but obviously not financial advice in a sort of a way. But the banks will do that for you. And obviously when we get to that stage, I do have contact with a few bank managers, one of them being NatWest and HSBC and Lloyds and so on. But the banks, well, the members that I know, they're board members. which means that I will have easy access into that maneuver once it does happen in terms of regulations. And everybody that's inside the CMF and watches this live show can have access to my contacts completely for free. If you know me, you know that there's no catch. When I say something, I mean it. If I say it's free, it's free. There's no catch. I've said this live show is free for over a year and a half, and it has been for over a year and a half. I said the Telegram group that we have is free. It's been free for over a year and a half. There's no catch when it comes to me. But when that time comes, I'll give you my contacts as well, so you can have sit down with them, and if you want to borrow against your assets. So how does also borrowing work is, for example, if you have $10,000 worth of cryptocurrencies, for example, you could have a lot more. But if you have, in this scenario, $10,000 worth of cryptocurrencies, the bank wouldn't give you an exact amount of 10,000 against your cryptocurrencies that you're using as collateral. They would give you about 4,000 if you have a good relationship, about 6,000 if you have an excellent relationship, about 8,000 to 9,000. Do you think CBDCs will ruin people's lives forever? Yes. Well, here's the thing. If rich people always find a way not to pay tax, it is factual. Yes, rich people will always find a way not to pay tax because there are loopholes within regulations. I mean, one of the most basic examples that we saw was when Hillary Clinton was going up for presidential elections and Donald Trump, and this was a while ago, but when Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton were going up against each other for the next president of the United States, and Trump obviously won, Hillary Clinton said that this man does not pay his taxes. What I like about Donald Trump is he's very straightforward and honest. He turned around straight away and said, the reason why I don't pay my taxes is because you left the loophole in. So obviously I'm going to use it. Well, who can judge that? Honestly, if you had a choice to not pay your taxes using a regulation that's put in place for you, would you not use it? Who likes paying taxes? There's not one person on this planet that goes, no, I would rather pay my taxes. Even if there is a regulation in place for you to use it as a loophole, who's going to say, no, I want to pay my taxes? Forget the loophole. Of course, everybody's going to say, I don't want to pay my taxes. So how could you make that man look bad when you're the one that left the loophole in? That's why education is important. Yep, facts. Hillary Clinton is obviously the same group that is basically Obama, and the same group which is basically Sleepy Joe, and the same group which is basically Kamala Harris. And what is their policy? Tax the rich. So why do they have a loophole in their regulations where the rich don't pay taxes? By the way, that loophole is never going to get fixed. That loophole is going to stay there forever, and the rich are never going to be paying taxes, but they'll always use that policy to make you feel like, yes, the rich people are finally paying their taxes. I'm voting for this person because she's making rich people pay their taxes. It's the same policy every 4 years. And they never do. That's why education is important. That's facts. That's why education is important. Do you think that CBDCs will ruin people's lives? Yes. Education will definitely ruin people's, education. CBDCs will definitely ruin people's lives. Yes, 100%. So CBDCs will start out being very normal. They will start out being very normal. People will start using CBDCs, and people will think, well, this is nothing different. It's like me using my bank card or me using Apple Pay, because CBDCs are going to be integrated into Apple Pay and Amazon Pay and Google Pay. Is what they're doing in India right now in terms of CBDCs with their central bank. But people are going to use it at the beginning. More and more people would join, and everybody think, well, this is excellent. CBDCs is nothing wrong with it. And as time progresses, and by the time they have everybody in CBDCs, it's when things start getting interesting. They're not obviously going to put seizing and freezing expiry dates right at the beginning. No, they want to give you a great time. They want you to enjoy yourselves in a CBDC world, and then it just comes down crashing on you in a CBDC world. Share the program. I already did. Let's go, Scott. Miles, I should move funds from USDT to USDC now, or wait? USDC is the safer option. You're still ahead of the game, Miles. Let's go, Ian. Facts. Good evening, Miles, the CMF. Unfortunately, I missed a lot of news lately. I hope you are doing great. Let's go, Tor. How you doing? Politicians feed us BS. Facts. You only see politicians every 4 years at election times. Also facts. Don't forget to share this program if you already haven't done so. Respectfully, let's go, Scott. Getting back to your point, he's not a good listener. She is. Miles is free, 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 and free. He has never offered to sell me anything and never charged me for sharing his opinion, which is not financial advice. Hashtag go Miles. Let's go, Scott. Miles, what I mean is how can we borrow against our cryptos if the Bank of England won't allow us to hold more than 3,000? No. You mean in CBDCs? Funky brother, elaborate. Do you mean how can you borrow against your money in CBDCs or cryptocurrencies? Because your question wasn't cryptocurrencies. Your question, oh no, actually it wasn't. It just says, so how do we borrow or take loans? Oh, in a CBDC world, how do you borrow and take loans? You can't. Forget about it. How are you going to borrow on $3,000, on £3,000 a month on CBDCs? You can't borrow. What's the bank going to give you? £500. You can't borrow against £3,000. Borrowing, it goes out the window. The whole saying for the world economic form is, by 2030, you will own nothing and be happy. But if you're limited to £3,000 a month or £5,000 a month, and that money will go towards essentially your groceries, because obviously inflation is going to get worse. So, right now you could be buying eggs for like £12, for example. Give it a couple of years, you'll be paying for the eggs for like £100. So if you're limited to 5,000 British pounds a month or 3,000 British pounds a month, all of your money will go to you surviving, basically. Not living, but surviving. So groceries, your rent, gas payments, and car payments, and that's pretty much it. You have a few pounds left for nothing. There's no point in saving it, because you won't live that long to be able to save that much to buy a house. But obviously, with every dark side, there's a light. And the light being, this is going to happen either way. We are going to go into CBDCs either way. No one's going to be able to stop it. Not a single person on this planet is going to be able to stop CBDCs. It's going to happen either way. It's been in progress for a very long time to happen behind the woodworks, and documentations are there to prove it. So, easiest way to do it is basically go for the backbone. 98% of centralized banks, 98% of centralized banks are in CBDCs. The number one use case inside of a digital world is going to be CBDCs. 100%. Out of every category inside the crypto space, the finance category is number one. Money going digital is always going to be number one, no matter what. Data is going to be number two. But in a digital world, in a CBDC world, 98% of centralized banks are already in CBDCs, 24,000 crypto projects, and only one has an active CBDC platform with multiple CBDC awards, alongside a bank potential settlements, world economic form, and international monetary fund, which is XRP. And this is what I said. If we go into a CBDC world and you were inside of a cryptocurrency space for about 4 years, 5 years, some people brag, I've been inside the cryptocurrency world for 7 years. And if we go into a CBDC world and you're not holding a single XRP, knowing that essentially the entire world is going to go into CBDCs and has already started going to CBDCs, a lot of countries already have CBDCs, some are expanding, some are about to launch in 2025. So if you spend 7 years inside the cryptocurrency space and we go into CBDCs and you're not holding a single XRP, then what the F were you doing all this time inside the cryptocurrency space? Bragging to people you were inside the cryptocurrency space for 7 years and you were buying Pepe's granddad? Or Pepe's stepbrother? Or Pepe's stepsister? There's 24,000 crypto projects. And only one has a CBDC active platform. It's not rocket science, it's just common sense. But common sense is not that common anymore, unfortunately. That is depressing, yeah. There is no more cash, pretty much. By June 2025, will XRP reaches potential? Good time frame? Sure. Now, look, what I would say is consider variable change. The regulations need to be in place. And with XRP, it's the patience game. It needs to be 1 billion% sure before it launches. I said it before and I'll say it again. You can't put Ripple in the same category. You can't put XRP in the same category of any other crypto project on this planet whatsoever. Every other crypto project is trying to design some sort of game or Web3 website or Web3 platform. And if they don't work, it doesn't really matter. It's not a big deal. If a gaming project game goes down for 4 hours, nobody cares. If a Web3 based company's platform goes down for 5 hours, nobody cares. If it goes down for 48 hours, nobody still cares. People will be a little bit pissed off, but that's about it. But with Ripple and XRP, different ballgame. You can't put XRP in the same category of any other cryptocurrency on this planet due to what XRP is trying to achieve. They have to be not 100% sure, as I said previously. XRP has to be 1 billion% sure before they launch, because you can't even have, essentially XRP, XRP Ledger launching, Ripple launching, and we're in a CBDC world, and everyone's banking system goes out for an hour. That cannot happen in a CBDC world, because if everybody's system goes down, every centralized bank system goes down for even an hour or 4 hours, it'll be absolute chaos. People can't access their accounts, people can't send money, people can't pay for their groceries, their cars, their mortgages, their rents. People will start protesting. So what XRP is trying to achieve, they don't have to be 100% sure, they have to be 1 billion% sure before launching, where they cannot even have a single bug in the system whatsoever. But other crypto projects, the other 24,000 crypto projects, they're all building games and Web3 based platforms and so on, AI platforms. Nobody cares. If ChatGPT goes out for 10 hours, I couldn't care less. And so can nobody else. But if your bank goes out for 10 hours, completely different game. So you can't put XRP in the same category of any other cryptocurrency. They have to be 1 billion% sure before they launch. Not 100%, 1 billion% sure. So by June 2025, will XRP reach its potential? Consider variable change. It will reach potential, but full potential. Consider variable change. Now, Miles, what about monies from inheritance, and how will this be sorted in the future? CBDCs on IOU. No borrow against CBDCs. Pretty much no borrow against CBDCs. I think I missed out a few questions. Let's see where I was. Here we go. Miles, what I mean is, how can we borrow against these cryptos? What I mean is, how can we borrow against our cryptos if the Bank of England won't allow us to hold more than 3,000 CBDCs? Well, because you're not borrowing against the Bank of England, you're borrowing against HSBC Bank. You're borrowing against commercial and private banks. And regarding no borrowing against CBDCs, that's true. You're borrowing against commercial and private banks. You're not borrowing directly from the Bank of England when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Let's go, Miles. DXY is plunging, and I feel like the real bull is right around the corner. Let's go, Parker. How you doing? And regarding, the inheritance is going to be an IOU or something. Good evening, Miles and CMF. Hopefully the juicy details have been kept for the end of the live. Lol. Yes, they have been. Yes, definitely. Now, yes, we have a lot of news to go from tonight's live show. Going back to the news topics. Prometheum. Because we're going to go to the Swiss news as well. The Swiss banks, XRP related, Ripple related. So let's carry on through the news. Prometheum. Prometheum adds Uniswap and Arbitrum to crypto custody securities. The US crypto firm Prometheum plans to broaden its custody services by including Uniswap and Arbitrum tokens as securities, which is not good. Starting in September, the custodian platform will accept both Uni and ARB tokens alongside Ethereum. So Prometheum is basically a crypto platform that was launched with the help of the SEC, believe it or not. They have a lot of former SEC members inside of it, and Gary Gensler was the one that greenlighted Prometheum, essentially. And Uniswap is going up against a battle inside the SEC situation right now, where they're being categorized of selling unregistered securities. Uniswap essentially has just been listed Uniswap has been listed as a security on Prometheum's platform, which could be added to the SEC case. The firm's decision to treat these crypto assets as securities aligns with the SEC's new digital asset transactions. However, this move puts the firm at odds with significant part of the crypto industry, because the rest of the crypto industry hasn't put Uniswap as a security. We're excited, this is what they announced, we're excited to announce the addition of the following digital asset securities: Uniswap and ARB to Prometheum custodial platform. Institutional and corporate clients will be able to custody Uniswap, ARB, and Ethereum through us. Prometheum expands custody services in industry controversy. Following an initial trial from the Ethereum as security, Prometheum aims to become a one-stop shop for crypto transactions, integrating Uni and ARB tokens into its custodial services. However, in May, Uniswap Labs essentially disapproved the SEC's consideration of the Uni token as a security. They claimed that the watchdogs was only trying to expand their jurisdictions and controls on larger parts of the market, calling their legal agreements weak. When asked why the platform chose to include Uni and ARB, Benjamin, the CEO of the subsidiary Profimium Capital, said, Profimium Capital intends to provide investors access to top digital assets over time, as well as tokenized assets, debt, equities, traded funds, ETFs, in other words, mutual funds, options, money market funds, and other investment contract products that are issued and transferred on as blockchain. So his answer was, we're not going to answer it. Because the question he was asked had no relevance to the answer he gave. Prometheum distinguishes itself with the SEC compliance during praise and scrutiny. Prometheum has set itself apart from the rest of the crypto industry by supporting the Securities and Exchange Commission instances that crypto should be embraced as an investment asset, trade securities. So if you didn't know, the SEC is seen as obviously anti-crypto, but the SEC also has set up their own crypto exchange. Gary Gensler, that sneaky little weasel, has obviously set up his own trade platform, which is actually called Prometheum. And Prometheum has the list of former SEC members is ginormous on Prometheum's board members, executives, and their employees. It's just all SEC former members. And they're the only platform in history inside the United States to have gotten a green light for everything they do, because they're all former SEC members. So that little weasel, Gary Gensler, he might be, anti-crypto on the scenes, but behind the scenes, he has his own crypto platform. But interesting enough, his own crypto platform essentially only greenlights securities. And they put Ethereum down as a security. They're putting ARB down as a security. They're putting Uni down as a security. And when they were asked the question of why are you putting these crypto projects as securities, Binance hasn't listed essentially Uni as a security or ARB. Coinbase hasn't. Crypto.com hasn't. Kraken hasn't. Why do you list them as securities? Profimium answered the question with a question. When somebody answers your question with a question, it means they're full of BS. So Prometheum has set aside itself apart from the rest of the crypto industry by supporting the Securities and Exchange Commission instances that crypto should be embraced as investment assets, trade securities. Prometheum is saying that cryptocurrency should be securities. The firm clarified that it will have its custodian platform and trading system under different entities as per the SEC's regulatory framework. This stance on the following SEC guidelines makes it the only US registered crypto securities platform. The SEC chairman, Gary Gensler, has praised this platform. Gary Gensler thinks this is the best crypto platform on this planet, tagging it as a potential example of successful crypto implementation because they're all former SEC members and you've greenlighted everything they do. What's interesting enough is also that somewhere down the line, Gary Gensler is going to be using this platform to use it in court scenes and say, look, this crypto platform has listed this token as a security, and they're going to use it in their case files. But it's just one massive loophole they're using, which is they set up a crypto platform. So the SEC set up a crypto platform with former SEC members, greenlighted all their projects, and they started randomly listing crypto projects under the category of securities. And then the SEC later on is going to use this platform, this crypto platform, in their court battles and say, look, Profimium has listed this crypto project as a security. There's our proof. It's a security. But you set up that crypto platform, greenlighted all their projects, and you're praising it everywhere you go. The trading platform has yet to share any earnings review or explain how the company will earn its revenue. Could this game be rigged anymore from the SEC and Gary Gensler? A lot of people don't even know about Profimium. They don't even know that Gary Gensler has greenlighted their entire projects. They don't even know that their members are pretty much all former SEC members. And they didn't even know that Gary Gensler is praising this crypto platform that they built by themselves. It's a bit like Telegram. Telegram built a project called TON ecosystem. And then they were about to be sued by the SEC and Gary Gensler. So Telegram dropped the crypto project TON. And then random developers picked up the TON ecosystem. And then TON ecosystem partnered with Telegram. Loophole. By the way, TON, excellent project. But it's just basically how loopholes work. It's the same loophole Gary Gensler is using. He's later on going to use Profimium in his court cases and say, look, Profimium put it as securities, so it's a security. While as Binance, Crypto.com, Kraken, Coinbase, nobody's listed these crypto projects as securities. but one platform has, which ironically, that one platform was designed by the SEC. Now, huge cryptocurrency step from Latin America. The huge cryptocurrency step from Latin America's largest company. Latin America's largest e-commerce company, Libra, has announced the launch of a new stablecoin pegged to the US dollar. Though its digital banking unit, it's called Mercado Pango, the stablecoin called Meli Dollar will offer Brazilian users a practical and stable financial management tool. The company noted that Mercado Pango users in Brazil will be able to buy and sell stablecoins using the Brazilian real dominated account balances without paying for any fees. The company explained that this is a new product aimed to provide a reliable option for users who want to manage their finances amid economic fluctuations. Libra has been steadily integrating cryptocurrencies into its platform. In August 2022, the company launched its own cryptocurrency coin, allowing users to shop on the marketplace and earn cashbacks. Prior to this, Pango partnered with Paxos to integrate its blockchain infrastructure, allowing Brazilian users to buy, sell, and hold Bitcoin, Ether, and Paxos stablecoin USDP. Libra has partnered with Ripple, a well-known Latin American cryptocurrency firm, to facilitate transactions involving the Meli Dollar. Ripple, which provides a trading platform and a wallet service in the region, will act as a market maker for transactions executed on Pango. This partnership's build is on the existing collaboration between Ripple and Mercado and Pango, as the two companies previously worked together to develop Mercado Coin. So, one of the oldest, essentially, Latin America's companies has just entered the crypto ranks. They're starting out with a stablecoin, and then on their own platform, they're also offering some cashback service cryptocurrencies. Major moves are definitely happening in Latin America. I mean, in terms of Latin America, Brazil is advancing very quickly, and El Salvador also very quickly as well. Quite a lot of jurisdictions within Latin America in terms of regulations and their CBDC release dates, rapid compared to other jurisdictions around the world. Absolutely rapid. Latin America is moving much more quicker in crypto innovation and AI innovation and Web3 innovation than the United States. Just put in that perspective. Now, next news on tonight's live show is quite a new milestone for Tether. Tether has decided to do something they've never done before, which is to create the first ever dirham, the UAE dirham. So Tether obviously has USDT being the #1 stablecoin inside the world for a digital dollar. They also have a digital gold token as well. Now they're going to be having the first ever UAE dirham. Now, is this green lighted by the central bank of the UAE? No, not in any sort of a way. But is this just a project that Tether wants to uptake because they're losing market share in the EU? Yes. It's the only reason Tether has decided to build a UAE dirham stablecoin is because they want users in the UAE to be using their stablecoin, their #1 stablecoin. And they're thinking that if they're going to be building a much more friendlier stablecoin that's more, towards their jurisdiction, they're going to get the user base they need. Now, that is a user base that Ripple is trying to get. So Ripple is trying to get the UAE's user base in terms of their stablecoin and market share and so on. Tether has decided to enter the ranks and to go up against Ripple in the UAE, because Tether already lost the EU market space. They already lost the EU market space, and USDC is actually thriving in the EU market space with the amount of exchanges that have delisted USDT in the EU due to the MiCA regulations. But they don't want to lose the Middle East, so they're building a new type of stablecoin. Tether, the issuer of the biggest stablecoin, USDT, is planning to launch a stablecoin tied to the UAE dirham. This huge step for Tether as they expand their reach into the Middle East, a region that's quickly embracing blockchain technology. Let's understand what they are planning to do and how it could affect the crypto community. Tether's decision to create a dirham pegged to the stablecoin will help them in tapping into a growing market. The Gulf region, especially the UAE, has been welcoming digital currencies, as well as essentially other cryptocurrencies with open arms. It is true the UAE is very crypto friendly. By backing this new stablecoin with the UAE-based reserves, Tether is aiming to provide users with a stable and trustworthy digital asset. To make this happen, Tether is teaming up with Phoenix Group, a leading tech firm in the UAE, and Green Acrom Investments. Together, they plan to launch a coin that could change how people and businesses in the UAE handle digital transactions. Why should you care? Recently, Tether has partnered with APTOS for lightning fast and cheap transactions. If they're involved in cross-border payments, trading, or just want to diversify their digital assets, this new dirham-pegged stablecoin could be a game changer. It's designed to make transactions easier and safer, especially in a region where the economy is booming. Plus, with the UAE's strong and stable economy backing it, this coin could also protect against currency fluctuations. Now, the CEO of Tether is confident that this new coin will meet essentially the needs of many users, as he sees the UAE as a major global economic hub, and this stablecoin could be the perfect tool for anyone looking to do business in the UAE. You should be using Tether's new stablecoin, is his words. A new crypto hotspot. When it comes to crypto, the UAE is not just any random country. They have been working hard to become a leader in the blockchain world. It is true. Dubai is definitely becoming a crypto hub. Dubai and Abu Dhabi in particular have become key centers for innovation. The UAE government has even set up a virtual asset regulatory authority, the VARA, to help regulate and promote digital assets. Because of this, more and more people in the Middle East are getting into crypto. Looking ahead, with Tether's new dirham-pegged stablecoin, people in the UAE will have a new way to take advantage of all that blockchain technology has to offer. And with the global market for stablecoins expected to grow in the next few years, this could be just the beginning. This comes at a great news just after a week of Dubai legalizing cryptocurrency salaries. It is true. Dubai did essentially regulate cryptocurrency salaries. People in Dubai can be paid in their wages monthly or annually in cryptocurrencies, which was passed within a court scene. But yep, Dubai's new stable coin is coming from the USDT. It's not regulated by the central bank of the UAE in any sort of a way, but it's with one private firm that Tether has decided to partner up with to release the stablecoin to the UAE, because they presume that a UAE dirham stablecoin is better use case than USDT. Maybe with Tether's new stablecoin, they can be transparent. Let's see. Tether has difficulties with transparency. You know what I'm mostly thinking about? When all of this USDT Tether shenanigans come to an end, what's Tether's CEO planning on doing? Running or willing to go down, as in be arrested? Because when all of these shenanigans come to an end and he doesn't have what he's telling people that he's backing USDT with, is he planning on running? Because he has to run very far, probably to Mars, because the amount of jurisdictions using his stablecoin, and there is no proof of transparency of what's really backing it, except a few members' words. Yeah, when everything comes down on him, is he going to run? Because if he is, he better give Elon Musk a call to get one of these jets pretty much ready to fly him out to Mars so nobody can touch him. Because there's going to be a list of angry dictators that have been using USDT with no backings. I don't think he's thought about that part. But time will catch up to him. Now, BNB. Apparently, Binance is back on the news for two reasons. One, Nigeria is still not letting go of their employees. If you don't know, quick catch up. Nigeria invited Binance executive board members and asked them to come over to Nigeria for an introduction. Two Binance executive members flew out to Nigeria and were arrested in the airport. It was a complete sting operation to bring Binance users in, and then they extorted them to pay out. They wanted Binance to pay millions of dollars to the Nigerian authorities because Nigeria blames Binance for their country's currency being worthless. Binance didn't exist when essentially their country's currency was going downhill. The only reason their country's currency is going downhill is because of their government. And genuinely feel sorry for the Nigerian people who are under the Nigerian government, who have been abusing their tax-paying money. But yeah, so one member was able to escape from Nigeria's authorities while the other member was stuck. One member said to the Nigerian authorities, "Can I go and pray?" And the Nigerian guards said, "Sure, we'll take you to prayer." When they took the man to prayer, he escaped from the back door. The other Binance executive didn't think of that plan, and he was just still inside a prison cell, and he's still there. But Binance is requesting the US government on one side to get him out. And the other reason why Binance is now on the news as well is that CZ is being looked into again. And it seems like they don't want to let go of CZ because CZ has paid his fine. He's coming up towards he didn't get a long sentencing because he really didn't do anything. But apparently they have a new case against CZ and Binance, which is for money laundering again. And they want to sue Binance one more time. They want to go after CZ one more time, and they haven't discussed what the fees are going to be or what the evidence are in place, but they did say that essentially CZ is being sued. Binance apparently knew that CZ was money laundering, and so BNB is going through some hurdles right now, and these hurdles are this. So if you're holding BNB, this is for you to know. BNB faces, or if you're holding cryptocurrencies on Binance, BNB faces legal obstacles. The price of Binance coin BNB is encountering significant resistance due to the several bearish elements. Notably, an action lawsuit filed essentially by 3 cryptocurrency investors against Binance and its founders, CZ, over stolen assets. Although BNB has seen a 7% increase over the past 48 hours, this upward trend may not be sustainable given the new legal challenges. What are the legal issues? The lawsuit alleges that Binance failed to prevent money launderings, resulting in investor losses. Bill noted that in court filings that Binance knew of this lucrative business model and, to some degree, encouraged money laundering. The plaintiffs argue that Binance was a major player in money laundering and constituted an illegal enterprise, violating the RICO Act. A trial could significantly impact the exchange, BNB, and CZ once again, who is already serving a 4-month prison sentence for breaching the Bank Secrecy Act. The sentiment shift among investors is further influencing BNB's price with a negative funding rate in the last 24 hours, signaling a bearish outlook among BNB holders. BNB price analysis. BNB is currently priced at around $561, just beneath a crucial resistance zone between $575 and $619. This range has impeded by BNB's price growth since early March. The only one successful breach in June that led to a new all-time high of $721. Given the weak bullish momentum, BNB might drop below $550, even if it manages to temporarily break through the lower boundary of $575. Key takeaways from this entire thing for investors. Investors can draw several significant conclusions from the current scenarios going on. BNB's price is struggling to maintain an upward trend due to the ongoing new legal challenges that are in place. The class action lawsuit could have severe implications for Binance and its founder CZ and for BNB token. Current investor sentiment is bearish, indicated by a negative funding rate. Crucial resistance levels between $575 and $619 are acting as strong barriers. The future of BNB price remains uncertain amid these developments, making a critical period for investors to watch closely and take informed decisions. So, Binance is about to go through another takedown. They already had to pay $4 billion, which is quite high in the history of the CFTC. But it seems like Binance is going through a new lawsuit that's relevant to money laundering. And apparently Binance had an idea it was happening and they let it happen. CZ had the idea it was happening as well. And there are 3 members right now suing Binance. 3 essentially members, but they own companies as well that are suing Binance for money laundering. That is one thing you don't want to be sued for as a company, because it definitely damages your reputation. The longer the case stays open, the more it will damage Binance's reputation, if it's true or not. The issue is the longer it stays open as a case, the more it will damage Binance, which means the more it will damage BNB. The longer the case progresses, even if it's not true. So this case needs to get wrapped up, or if it continues in a long case, it's not good for Binance's future. Because as a company that deals with money 24/7 basis, money laundering is the last thing you want to be wrapped up in. Now, and also, do I believe the whole money laundering situation? Not really, no. They always wanted Binance out of the picture. They always wanted Binance out of the picture. And this case could be the one that piles on top. But CZ, great person. I've always respected CZ. He helped the crypto space so much. If you were in the earlier days of the crypto space, you would understand what I'm saying when I say CZ was an excellent person. And he never did anything wrong except just not being a part of their circle. Their circle being the World Economic Forum, Bank of International Settlements, International Monetary Fund. CZ was never a part of that circle, which means in this world, it's not just about money. It's also about, are you a part of that circle? And if you're not a part of that group, money doesn't mean anything. They print money out of thin air. It's about you being a part of that group. And if you're not a part of that group, they'll replace you. And obviously, you know, the whole Binance scenario, CZ had to go to prison. And Binance has 2 CEOs that are both World Economic Forum members. Coincidence or coordinated? Now, before we go through the next news on this whole Binance situation, putting that to one side, let's go to the comment section first. But the next news we're going to go through is a perspective from Franklin Templeton, CEO. But let's go to the comment section first. If you have any questions, put it down in the comment section. This is a live show, and I can read everybody's comments one by one. So let's see where we are at the comment section. We were here. Would you say £2,000 a day is a good amount to make? Sure, definitely, 100%. A few days ago, you said China doesn't want to trade in Russian rubles, so will they use XRP as their currency? Middleman is what more like it. But yeah, the reason why China doesn't want to deal in Russian ruble is because China doesn't want to get sanctioned either. They're calling it second sanctions, is what China's calling it. They don't want to get sanctioned either because it's bad for China's economy, especially now that China's going through their own hurdles, which is their real estate market space is definitely getting damaged. But regarding, you know, cryptocurrency is going to be the payment tool that they're going to be using cross-border payments. It's also why Russia passed the new legislation to be using cryptocurrencies for cross-border payments. If China starts using cryptocurrencies for cross-border payments, then obviously it'll be off the books and off the records, which means it's very difficult for them to get sanctioned. So on that basis, are they going to be using XRP? If they do, it's going to be using XRP in terms of CBDCs or as a middleman transaction. They could also be using it on XRP directly as well, but most likely it's going to be indirectly as a middleman token. But they can use it, yes, without a doubt. I mean, it's the fastest option for them to be able to do any sort of trades. The fastest and cheapest and securest. What do you think about the boat sank in Sicily and his partner got hit by a car just a few days ago? Yeah, there's a situation in the UK that's happened where a very, very wealthy man was sank in his own ship, massive ship, and obviously his partner was hit by a car. I haven't looked into their backgrounds, but odd, extremely odd, that an extremely rich man dies on his boat, and then his partner instantly gets hit by a car. It almost feels like they were trying to take both of them out, and they accomplished it. But I don't know why they try to take them out. I haven't looked into their backgrounds. I don't know which companies they were a part of or which secrets they were about to reveal to the world, where they both instantly died in different places. But it is extremely odd. Miles, could you give me a well-educated guess as to when the digital currency will be fully introduced? Many thanks. Yes. This year, there has been some releasements of CBDCs. Next year, we're going to have a lot more releasements. 2026, we're going to be pretty much more into CBDCs. 2025 is when we're going to see the collection of CBDCs. This year has been paperwork and regulations with the world shifting into a digital era. This year has been institutions coming in, banks coming in, regulations being put in place, and so on, and some CBDC releases as well. As I said previously, whichever country that doesn't launch in 2024 is going to be launching in 2025 in terms of their CBDCs. So we've had some CBDC releases this year. We're going to have a lot more CBDCs next year. And but this year has been mostly paperwork. It has been paperwork in terms of regulations and banks institutions coming in. Some banks are tiptoeing into the markets this year. Some banks are coming a little bit more heavy-footed, and same goes with the institutions. But 2025, 2024. This year, still watch out. There's a lot of things to happen. Ethereum cannot be a security as it was approved for spot exchange traded fund ETF, which is true. Isn't that a contradiction in itself? Yes, it is. Trump will get them back. You talked about the Binance executives that are stuck in Nigeria. Yeah, Trump will, obviously. He's the only man that can get them out. Hi, Miles and family. Binance going through all that, and their coin is not being affected in price. Alex, good to see you. How you doing? It is true. Binance's coin is reacting in a positive way right now, but as time progresses and this case stays open, let's see how the price will plan out. But yeah, Binance is going through it right now. If you thought your life was difficult, Binance is definitely going through it right now. Money laundering and basically money laundering suing their members being stuck in a prison cell in Nigeria for a meeting they thought they were having. On one side, they're trying to battle the lawsuit. On the other side, they're trying to free a man from a prison. Now, Tradeify. Tradeify underestimates Bitcoin. Sorry about that. Tradeify underestimates Bitcoin. Enormous scale. Franklin Templeton CEO says, Bitcoin processed $36.6 trillion in transactions last year, far more than payment network giants MasterCard and Visa combined. Franklin Templeton's CEO, Jenny Johnson, who steered the asset management giant towards the digital asset space from taking over her family's company back in 2020, is shocked by how much traditional financial firms are unaware of Bitcoin's scale. In a conversation at the Wyoming Bitcoin, essentially in Jackson Hole, that happened, Johnson said that 30% of her day-to-day work is spent looking at a disruptive technology, as her main focus is positioning the firm for the next generation. This includes digital assets, which Johnson believes is one of the two biggest obvious trends that she definitely doesn't want to miss out on. The other is artificial intelligence. So she doesn't want to miss out on the number one category inside the crypto space, which is finance, and the other one is artificial intelligence for her, which is also data related. What's crazy to me is that in traditional finance, they have no idea about the amount of money and the volume of Bitcoin, Johnson said. In 2023, the Bitcoin blockchain processed over $36.6 trillion in transactions as the market recovered from a tough year. This is in contrast to MasterCard and Visa, the two big payment networks worldwide, which processed $9 trillion and $14.8 trillion. There is an entire ecosystem that almost ignores what is parallel. Massive ecosystems, Johnson said. MasterCard and Visa aren't ignoring blockchain technology. Both companies have made efforts in recent years to add crypto payments to their networks. Visa in particular has run trials after trials to test out new product offerings and partnered with several crypto native firms, including Circle and Solana, to grow a stronger footing inside the space. MasterCard is rolling out a blockchain-based debit card as well. Franklin Templeton, after the appointment of Johnson as the company CEO, quickly became a leader among traditional financial asset managers. Its on-chain U.S. government money market fund, FOBXX, became the first fund to use a public blockchain to record transactions and ownerships in 2021. Earlier this week, the company filed a proposal with the Securities Exchange Commission to launch a fresh exchange-traded fund trading under the ticker symbol EZPZ. That would expose investors to a range of digital assets. Coinbase would be the custodian of that fund. It makes sense why Coinbase is the custodian of that fund. But yes, in terms of transactions, crypto does process a lot more transactions. It's been proven many times that crypto does process transactions more than traditional methods like Visa and MasterCard. But what Johnson also forgot, and it processes a lot more faster, but what Johnson also forgot to say is that most of the transactions that happen in cryptocurrencies are bot transactions. So MasterCard once became quite angry that crypto kept on coming up on the news, and MasterCard kept on seeing the article titles, crypto processes this much transactions and MasterCard only processes this much transactions. It was always lower. MasterCard transactions were always lower of how much they would process compared to crypto. So MasterCard decided to leviate a plan to find out are crypto transactions or even real transactions. It's all public data on a public blockchain. So they did a few testings. They paid off a few companies to get some test results. And it turned out about 90%. It was around 90% or 80% of transactions inside the crypto space are just bot transactions, and the rest were actual transactions. Now, that is a result that came out of MasterCard. It could be completely wrong, could be completely biased towards MasterCard, but it was around 90 to 80% of transactions on cryptocurrencies are just bots, not people, to inflate prices. But nevertheless, crypto is obviously a faster option, cheaper option, but I'm not sure if Bitcoin is that solution. Bitcoin is slow and a bit expensive. We need fast and cheap payments. There are better alternatives in terms of payments, definitely better alternatives. Now, before we get to the next news, which is regarding Swiss banks, let's go inside the comment section first. Trump will get them back. Hi, Miles. What's your response to Raoul Pal talking about old coins like Adder and XRP missing the bull run this year? Okay, I saw the video of Raoul Pal talking about XRP and Adder, which actually is an old video. It was a video that was resurfaced again. So Raoul Pal's recent response is he's positive about XRP and he was wrong about XRP. The video that's circulating inside the X space right now is actually a video that's very, very old. So there's an old video of Raoul Pal talking about XRP and Cardano and saying they're old projects and you should forget about them and you should focus on new projects. But Raoul Pal also has a much more recent video with a completely different point of view and contradicted himself and actually said XRP is actually an asset that he's interested in and wants to hold. So there's an old video resurfacing of his opinions. Now, on his old perspective, which was wrong, and Raoul Pal realized which was wrong, and for any moron right now that's retweeting this video of Raoul Pal and saying Raoul Pal is saying XRP and Cardano are old projects, is an old video. Why don't you repost his new response? Oh, wait, because you can't use it as clickbait. As I've seen a lot of people do it. But on that video, Shelly, I've seen it, it's an old video, but on his perspective, let's just go with his old perspective, which him himself contradicted himself. On his old perspective, just because an asset is old, it doesn't mean you should let go. Because regarding that video of Raoul Pal, of him making a mistake, which then he realized his mistake and changed his point of view on a new video. But his mistake was, it's an old project and you should not be looking into it and so on and so on. And you should be letting go of old projects and moving on to new projects. As an investor, that is the worst mentality to have. That's like telling someone, if you've held Apple stock shares for... Sorry about that. If you've held Apple stock shares for a very long time, that you should be getting rid of them on Nevada or Microsoft and so on, just because they're old assets. It makes no sense. Now, putting that to one side, regarding XRP and XLM or XDC, or in his perspective, Cardano, these assets went into development mode, which means they're building. Just because a new asset inside a crypto, the easiest way to say it is this, actually. Just because there's a new crypto asset, it doesn't mean it's better than the old crypto asset. What dictates a good crypto project is its contracts. The only thing that dictates a good crypto project is the contracts. Who's working with it and what are they building and are they going to be in 5 years' time? Just because there's a new crypto project, it doesn't mean it's better than the old ones. Because you'll see new crypto projects coming out and going, this crypto project is faster than processing transactions. I've seen a lot of people do this, where they create videos and go, this crypto project is faster at processing transactions. this crypto project processes transactions in 2 seconds. Nobody cares. Because I'll give you an example. If people cared about, if companies cared about that scenario, a crypto project processes 2 seconds faster, so this project is better than XRP or so on and so on, then why doesn't this new crypto project have any major contracts with, I don't know, IBM or Standard Chartered Bank or HSBC Bank? They don't, because nobody cares. You see, Ethereum will contradict all of that because Ethereum is slow and expensive, but yet it has a lot of contracts in play. It's got nothing to do with, oh, this crypto project is faster on their technology and processing transactions or cheaper. They don't care. What contradicts a good crypto project is contracts. Who has the most amount of contracts with the most amount of banks, legitimate banks or legitimate major institutions in play? What are they building? And are they going to be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years time? That's all that matters. These institutions are not going to drop, for example, Ripple. These institutions, for example, IBM, let's just say in this scenario, or HSBC Bank. HSBC Bank is not going to drop Ripple as a partner and go with a new crypto project because they're 1 second faster on transactions, even though HSBC Bank spent millions of dollars on times and resources building on the XRP ledger. They're going to go, nah, this one's 1 second faster. Let me go to this one. It's the most dumbest perspective to have. And you should not be in any sort of market space if you have that perspective. So just because it's a new crypto project, it doesn't mean it's better than the old ones, because the old ones got in first. And if they got in first, they established themselves. If they establish themselves, that means they have contracts. And if they have contracts, it means they're developing. If they're developing, it means they're going to be launching, and that's when the money comes. It's got nothing to do with this one's new, this one's old. Nothing. Not a single thing. And it's not like these crypto projects that came out a long time ago haven't updated their systems and they're just dusting away in a warehouse somewhere. Ripple's always testing and updating their systems. All these older projects are always updating and keeping up and testing on their systems. Ripple recently did a recent test, a 15-minute reset test on their XRP ledger testnets. They're always updating. It's not like they're just, they built the XRP ledger and said, here you go. They're never going to touch it again or update it or do anything to it. It's the most dumbest thing Raoul Paul ever said in his entire lifetime, which he realized his biggest mistake, and he did a new updated video where he said, no, XRP is actually a good project, I'm holding it. So what dictates a good crypto project is not about, oh, this one's fast or this one's cheap. Nobody cares, because Ethereum will contradict that move. It's expensive and slow, but it still has the most amount of contracts. One of the most. But what dictates a good crypto project is contracts. Who is it working with? If you want to know a crypto project is going to be successful, who is it working with? What is it building? And is it going to be here in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years time? Not it's the fastest or it's the cheapest. No. Who is it working with? What is it building? And is it going to be here in 5 years time is all that matters. Forget about this one's 1 second cheap. I've seen people argue so many times. This one's 1 second faster or this one's 2 seconds faster. Nobody cares. Not a single institution cares whatsoever. Okay? What contracts do they have? What are they building? Are they going to be in 5 years' time? That's all that matters. Because a lot of crypto projects will come out and they'll say, we're doing tokenization. People will go, oh, this is the new tokenization project. Does it have any contracts? Is it working with any real estate companies? Is it working with any automotive companies? Answer, no. Is it useful? No. Anybody, and also these new projects that are coming out inside the crypto space, they've all got ChatGPT roadmaps. They just go on ChatGPT, write me a white paper for my crypto project. And ChatGPT writes a white paper for their crypto. It's all the same. We're going to do tokenization. We're going to create a stable coin. We're going to do, and everybody goes, wow, this is amazing. First of all, ChatGPT wrote the entire thing for them. Second, do they have any contracts? No. Which means useless. So stop being wooed. If anybody is being wooed by these new crypto projects that are coming in, it's going to do tokenization, it's going to do automotive space, real estate space, and so on. Do they have any contracts? If the answer is no, then forget about it. If it's not working with a real estate firm, major real estate, it's not working with a bank, if it's not working with a major institution, if it's not working with a major VC company, then forget about it. They ain't going to achieve nothing. They're going to go alongside the other crypto graveyard projects. There's a lot of projects inside the crypto graveyard. All of those projects that pretended to do real world assets, get involved inside the real estate space, inside the automotive space, inside the banking fields, and they achieved nothing. It's just random words that ChatGPT built up for them. 99% of all these crypto projects now coming in, popping up, these new projects, they're entire white papers written by ChatGPT. It's just copy and paste. And they're all promising the exact same things. Not a single one has a backing. Do you know who is their backing? You. So, always remember 3 things. If you want to know you have a successful crypto project in your hands, it's not about price action. It's not about it's cheap. It's not about it's fast. It's about who is it working with, what is it building, and is it going to be here in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years time? Not about fast, cheap, or price action. Who is it working with? What is it building? And is it going to be here in 5 years, 10 years, 10 years time? That's it. That's all that matters. Also, how many money transfer licenses you have, but that essentially is about financial projects. Financial projects need money transfer licensing. It doesn't apply to the rest of the category of the crypto space, but that also applies to money transfer license regarding the financial projects. So XRP, XLM, XDC, ACH, they need money transfer licensings depending on different jurisdictions they're operating out of. But yeah, that's the only things that matters when it comes to crypto projects. It's not about who's the fastest, who's the cheapest, and the imaginary dreams they're handing out to people just because they're new crypto projects. It's got nothing to do with that. It's about who they're working with, what they're building, and are they going to be in 5 years' time. If they're working with IBM, massive positive. If they're working with Standard Chartered Bank, positive. Bank of America, positive. JP Morgan, positive. Goldman Sachs, positive. Franklin Templeton, positive. Vanguard, positive. Franklin Templeton, positive. A major well-established firm inside of London Stock Exchange, positive. Hong Kong, positive. Singapore, positive. But a random crypto project coming out just because it's new and it's fast and it's cheap, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean a single squat. Who are they working with? What are they building? And is it going to be here in 5 years' time? Because people will go all day long and say, oh, this one's fast, this one's cheap, so it's the better choice. Ethereum is slow and expensive, and it still has more use case. So it contradicts everybody inside the crypto space that's saying this new crypto project is fast and cheap. Ethereum is slow and expensive. Solana is not able to process payments, goes out for 4 hours where nobody can do a transaction, and still has more user base. It's got nothing to do with fast, cheap, and so on, or if it's a new crypto project. Who's it working with, what it's building, and is it going to be here in 5 years' time? Good question to ask about long-term growth. Exactly. Let's go, Leroy. X saying that guy's company played a major role investing in, not sure if that's true or not. Thanks, Miles, for addressing that. As it is circulating, yes, it is. No problem, Shelley, anytime. The politicians are willing to admit being wrong because many of them have thousands or hundreds of thousands of XRP. True. Susie, good to see you. So how you doing? I enjoyed listening to Trump talking today in comparison to the national or the other one. Yeah. Let's go, Leroy. How you doing? Why XRP is not listed like a real-world asset sector? We know that XRP can include in this category, but people know only XRP is as cross-border payments. The reason why people only know XRP as cross-border payments is people only studied up the. But here's the thing: the only reason that people know XRP as a cross-border payment is because it was designed. The XRP token itself is a gas token. It was designed to be a middleman transaction for two different types of currencies, to be a middleman transaction as a gas token. So its design, its original purpose was for cross-border payments. Now, obviously, they're going to be doing cross-border payments. Obviously, they're going to be doing real-world assets as well. If you go to Ripple's blog posts, on their recent blog posts, they have mentioned regarding real-world assets and what they're going to achieve and so on. but their main purpose is cross-border payments, which brings in the majority of the money. Cross-border payments is going to bring a lot more money in than real-world assets. Cross-border payments is going to be happening 24/7 around the world. Everybody's going to be doing payments. That is going to bring more value than real-world assets. Real-world assets is going to bring a lot of value as well, but cross-border payments is going to bring a hell of a lot more value. Transactions are always going to, so because the chances of people buying tokenized, properties, or people buying tokenized cars is high in a digital world, very high. But there's a higher chance somebody's about to buy a cup of coffee, or somebody's about to buy something on Amazon. There's a higher chance of that happening than somebody going out and saying, I want to buy a part of this building. Cross-border payments are going to be happening 24/7, domestically and internationally, 24/7. Real-world assets are going to be happening as well, 24/7 basis, because blockchain is 24/7 operational. But there are more payments happening, cross-border payments, than there are happening in tokenization. Because people are more likely to buy things internationally than to buy a part of the building on a 24/7 basis. Thanks, Miles, for all you do. You've been showing us to look out for the contracts, who they're working with, and what is their use long-term. Let's go, Ian. Good question to ask about long-term growth. Let's go, Leroy. Ever since I've known you. Let's go, Ian. Thanks so much for the kind words. Now, Swiss banks. Swiss banks embrace instant payments. According to an announcement by Swiss National Bank, SN Bank, and financial infrastructure operator SIX Interbank Clearing Ltd, Switzerland has reached an advanced phase in its efforts to leverage the power of instant payment schemes to go cashless. The SNB report reviewed essentially just came out. About 60 financial institutions within the country currently can process and receive payments instantly within 10 seconds. Interestingly, this makes up to 95% of the Swiss retail payment transactions. The report further discloses that the first institutions has launched its retail offerings with several others expecting to join in the coming months. With this, experts believe that the financial economy could be boosted, since private individuals and companies could perform account-to-account transactions around the clock, 24/7. Again, just on the topic of cross-border payments, Switzerland is boosting their transactions because it's 24/7 operational. This offers significant advantages for individuals, companies, and commercial banks. Thanks to a shorter settlement chains, risks are reduced and funds received available immediately. For companies and commercial banks, instant payments expand opportunities for automating processes and linking with other services. Commenting on this, SNB and SIX disclosed that instant payments could be widely established in Switzerland in the medium term and could be a model for the future related innovations. The technical frameworks for this new type of payment was put in place with the successful go-live of the new generation of the central Swiss payment system in November 2023. This market launch represents a further important milestone and reflects the collective stakeholder commitment to the future of cashless payments in Switzerland. Now, the question is, could XRP be considered for this innovation? With the country expected to fully redefine its financial system with the perfect establishment of an instant payment scheme, experts believe that XRP could be integrated in the future. Fortunately, this possibility is not far-fetched, as the Swiss bank, fully owned by the government, PostFinance, recently announced the addition of XRP to its trading platform in Switzerland. And they actually added Solana as well. According to reports, XRP could get more integration in the future, with 28% of Swiss banks currently allowing clients or planning to enable them to invest in crypto. In addition to PostFinance, the Catalan Bank of Zurich have all introduced their crypto offerings to all of their clients. Now, they're offering XRP in Switzerland right now through Post Finance. Post Finance's history in the crypto industry could be traced beyond 2023 when it partnered with Sigmund Bank to regulate crypto services. The basis of this collaboration was to allow customers to buy, sell, and store cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and now XRP. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and now XRP in Switzerland. Last year, we reported that Swiss banking giant BBVA had expanded its partnership with Ripple-owned Metico to enable a robust engagement in crypto. Priding itself as the first-tier #1 bank in the Eurozone to combine crypto custodial and trading services alongside traditional assets, BBVA is essentially expected to lead the way for a full XRP integration in Switzerland. That was essentially last year was their announcement of their partnerships, and they went into deep development mode with Metico and Ripple. Currently, XRP is being set up to lead the new global financial era, which is marked by its recent integration with MasterCard, while Ripple is working to boost real-world asset tokenizations worldwide, on the question of tokenization as well. Okay, so Switzerland-based company, Six Digital, is basically released a report of how far Switzerland has come in terms of transactions, digital transactions, and how they feel about digital transactions. They love it so far. They have no issues with it. They're not going to have any issues with it. It's 24/7 operational, as I've been saying. And they love the idea of cross-border payments happening 24/7 instantly also. And the chances of XRP being integrated in this payment method, or is already the XRP ledger integrated in this payment method because they're using on a small basis to see how it is actually considerably quite high. Because last year, I also announced the news on this live show that BBVA has essentially partnered with Metico, and Metico is a Ripple company. For all those people that are still saying that Metico is Metico and Ripple is Ripple, you're an absolute moron. If Ripple owns Metico, then it's Ripple. It's not Metico and Ripple or two separate, entities. And Ripple's by itself and Metico's by itself. I've explained this in a very simple scenario. Volkswagen owns Audi and Audi owns Lamborghini. Who owns Lamborghini? Is it Audi or Volkswagen? Because if you lift up a Lamborghini, they have Audi and Volkswagen parts inside of it. If one company owns another company, technically, it's that company. It's the main company. So if Ripple owns Metico, it's not Metico, Ripple. And it only comes to that. Whenever anything involving Ripple, people always try to, deliberately put it down. If any news involving Ripple, people deliberately just try to put it down. Ripple buys, Metico. Oh, Metico is Metico, Ripple is Ripple. Ripple partners with Standard Chartered Bank. Oh, it's through their custodian bank. It's got nothing to do with that. Whatever happens with Ripple news, they always try to deliberately belittle it with nonsense. And the whole aspect of Metico is Metico and Ripple is Ripple. Well, Metico's CEO works inside of Ripple. Metico is going to be changing their name to a Ripple company name. It's also established on their new blog post on Ripple's own website. And it's not Metico, Ripple. It's the same thing. It's Ripple. They own it, which means they dictate what's happened next. If you own another company, it means you have the last voice, not the company that you brought. I can give you another example. Ford brought Saab. Saab used to be a car manufacturer company, and Ford brought Saab. They dropped Saab because Saab didn't listen to them, and Saab thought they had the last voice. If another company buys your company, you don't have the voice of reason in your own company. The company that brought you has the voice of reason. They dictate which way you move. They say go left, you go left. They say go right, you go right. That's how it works when you buy a company. But obviously, people inside the retail section, or sorry, not retail section, people inside the cryptocurrency space, inside the influencer space, obviously know more about the corporate sector, never have lived 1 second inside the corporate sector. But, crypto influencers obviously know more. What am I thinking? I'm from the corporate sector. What do I know? But yeah, regarding this matter, Switzerland, BBVA, Switzerland, Six Digital, and Metico. Switzerland has gone 98% into digital transactions in terms of people using on a daily basis to get the ranks up and see how things are. So far, all testings were successful in Switzerland, and Switzerland being the bank of the world, essentially, they established that moment as well, which is a new milestone. for Switzerland to be this heavily footed inside of digital payments. They're estimating that 28% is going to be fully in digital payments as they progress, and it's going to progress more and more and more, which is massive news for Ripple. Now, Skyfire. Skyfire launches a blockchain payment network that lets AI spend your money. Now, this program was designed by former Ripple members. So Skyfire has decided to launch a new platform for AI technology to have its own wallets. Blockchain development firm Skyfire recently launched a payment platform that allows artificial intelligence agents to spend money autonomously, your money. Helmed by former Ripple VP of Products and Service Amir, the company's platform makes it possible for a business to give a preloaded wallet to an AI agent. The company's protocol converts the cash into USDC coin. When the agent's task involves payments, the platform handles the conversion, thus enabling autonomous paying agents. AI agents. An AI agent is, for a lack of a better term, a bot that's designed to carry out a certain task. Examples include AI agents that monitor inventories across multiple sites in order to autonomously generate orders, or a bot that monitors sale prices across multiple online marketplaces. However, without the ability to conduct payments, these agents are regulated to intermediary status. Despite their basic autonomy, they lack end-to-end functionality. As Skyfire co-founder and chief product officer Craig said in a recent interview, AI agents can't do anything if they can't make payments. It's just a glorified search. Either we figure out a way where AI agents are actually able to do things, or they don't do anything, and therefore they're not agents. AI with a wallet. So this is a new system we're going into, AI with a wallet. Because the system relies on a platform that uses stablecoins as mediums, it's able to directly interference essentially giving user AI agent with a service it can access. The user is responsible for building the agent and also controls the amount of funds in its wallet. As Cointelegraph recently reported, throughout the cryptocurrency and fintech industry, including Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong, and recently began advocating for the integration of AI agents with cryptocurrency wallets. In Armstrong's view, giving AI agents cryptocurrency wallets would allow them to work on your behalf and possibly generate income autonomously, whether that would be through trading or providing some other services that would ultimately be up to the developers themselves or the users. Skyfire's products is currently aimed at supporting B2B transactions between AI agents, but the company is exploring further services and use cases. So we're getting much more closer to that world of iRobots. Basically, we're getting to a stage where AI is going to have its own wages. So if you're going to use an AI bot online, and eventually in real life, you're going to be given it access, some sort of a wallet that you want to give it access to for it to do some spending for you. Now, Coinbase did mention this, and I read out the news on this live show, and I asked people inside the comment section, inside the CMF, would you let AI have access to your cold storage wallet? Most people said they don't even trust people, never mind AI, to have access to its cold storage wallet, which I agree with. Now, a new venture that's coming out, which is called Skyfire Product, which is former VP of Ripple, who has designed this platform. They've built an AI bot that you would have to give it some sort of wallet access, and it could pretty much run your company if it wanted to. That one is not a bad idea. You can give it a separate wallet and let it run the show. It will do so. If you run a company, for example, and your inventory is low, instead of the AI bot sending you an email and going, this inventory is low, alerting you about information, it actually goes out of the way and puts in an order. So for example, you're selling products and you're low on products. It's not going to send you an alert and say you're low on products. Instead, it's just going to contact who it needs to contact, basically, through essentially the internet, and buy it for you if you're low on inventories. As one example. If you're running a business and you're low on inventories, the AI would go out of its way and do the transaction for you. and fill up your warehouse, essentially. That's an interesting idea. It's like having your own CEO or co-founder or co-CEO, for example. Now, before we go through the next news, which is regarding El Salvador, but also a lot more people are going to become jobless if this starts taking off regarding FireSky. But the next news we're going to go from tonight's live show is regarding El Salvador. But before we go through that, let's go start a comment section first. And what does everybody think? Would you hire? Here's a quick question. Would you personally hire an AI bot that could do transactions for your business? So if you are running a business, would you hire one of these AI bots to run your business for you? Would you let AI run your business for you, do the transactions for you, do the emails, phone calls, and so on? Would you let AI run your business for you? Yes or no? Or do you think it's a bad idea? Why is XRP? No, I read that one. I was here. Switzerland and their banks is forward thinking about crypto way beyond USA. I agree, Leroy. Facts. Switzerland is definitely ahead of its time regarding regulations, regarding payments. Without a doubt. No, is what Scott put. It's like my Coinbase wallet. It just buys XRP every week for me. I don't even have to tell it. Just set it up. Basically, yeah. Awful idea. Let's go. Yeah, I agree. Look, never leave anyone else in charge of my finances, regardless if it's AI or not. Fair point. Fair point. Definitely fair point. Depends on the business, Miles. Depends on the business. Okay, I like this. Everyone's got different perspectives on the matter. Yes, all the way. Mike is with it all the way. Susie, not a good idea. Scott, no artificial Scott managing my money. Could XRP, Leroy, could XRP track the migrants for accountability considering 320,000 children are missing under current administrations? Could XRP track them? No. It's not the way XRP was designed. Yes, it's called my office staff. Lol. It's called my office staff. Okay, so people have mixed opinions on this matter. For some, it's good to go. You know, Mike, he said yes all the way. Makes his life easy, I'm guessing, for his business. For some, it depends on the business they're doing. For some, it's no matter what, I have to be in charge of my finances, which I fairly understand as well. And for some, it's genuinely just no. Don't forget to hit the like button and share on X. Let's go, Leroy. Thanks so much for that. Now, El Salvador has just thought about doing an excellent idea that I think other countries should implement. El Salvador introduces Bitcoin certification program for 80,000 civil servants. El Salvador, the first nation to adopt Bitcoin, has launched a Bitcoin certification program for 80,000 civil servants. El Salvador's bold adoption of Bitcoin has caught the attention of countries like Argentina, which want to follow in suit. El Salvador, the first nation to adopt Bitcoin as a legal tender, has launched a comprehensive Bitcoin certificate program for its civil servants. The initiative, spearheaded by the National Bitcoin Office, ONBTC, aims to equip 80,000 government employees with knowledge of Bitcoin and its application in public administration. According to the ONBTC, this training program, dubbed Certification in Public Administration 1, is a 160-hour virtual course that will be used to strengthen the standard of excellence in governance and public administration in El Salvador. Additionally, the course is divided into 7 modules that offer detailed concepts like law, skills, and management practices related to the use cases of Bitcoin as a legal tender in El Salvador. The program isn't just teaching government employees how to navigate the new money system, but is laying the groundwork for a bigger revolution. This was emphasized by Stacy, the director of the ONBTC, who believes that by training civil servants, the country will create a compounding effort that will further essentially bolster the El Salvador's economy, and has shown a great confidence. Stacy has shown a great confidence that the program will contribute to the Central American nation's success in its Bitcoin and technology roadmap. Stacy also went on to say, these education projects are very low time preference commitments to the long-term success of El Salvador and its Bitcoin and tech policies. The Higher School of Innovation and Public Administration is responsible for conducting this effective program. It is also worth noting that this is the same place where El Salvador's president was essentially getting his green light. Argentina, El Salvador in talks over Bitcoin adoption. El Salvador's enthusiastic move towards Bitcoin hasn't gone unnoticed. Their crypto crusade has essentially attracted international attention. Argentina, as an economically allied country, has reached out to El Salvador to learn from their experience. Having a diplomatic relationship that stems from history books, representatives from Argentina's National Securities and Commission, CNV, met with their counterparts at El Salvador's National Commission of Digital Assets, CNAD, to discuss Bitcoin adoption and crypto regulation. Roberto Silvia, the president of Argentina's CNV, showed a great interest in the idea of building ties with El Salvador, noticing the potential benefits of such a partnership. We want to strengthen ties with the Republic of El Salvador, and therefore we are going to explore the possibilities of signing collaboration agreements with them. Silvia stated. Argentina's interest in the new asset class has grown significantly, especially after the Bitcoin-friendly President Javier entered in office 2023, already walking the talk, as CNF essentially reported that Argentina underwent a few regulatory changes that would accommodate cryptocurrencies. True to its words, late July saw Argentina register its first cryptocurrency-funded company. So, regarding Argentina, excellent. What Argentina is trying to achieve is teaching politicians about blockchain technology. I think it's something that every country should take up regarding teaching politicians about blockchain technology, and the politicians that fail to learn about blockchain technology should just be fired. Because if a politician is not willing to understand that the world is changing, then he needs to be fired. So what El Salvador is doing is excellent, teaching their 80,000 government employees blockchain education for free with multiple courses and giving them certificates at the end, because Argentina is trying to prepare El Salvador is trying to prepare their entire nation for this digital future by also teaching their government employees about what's about to be happening next. Amazing, absolutely amazing. And whoever doesn't learn it or fails the test multiple times should just, be removed, because that person is not good to be leading Argentina anywhere in a digital future if they fail to understand what is blockchain technology and what it can achieve. I think every country should do that, because then you can separate the actual people that we need along inside the government space and the useless politicians out the door. Now, Bitwise's CIO is a perspective that just came out from Bitwise's CIO. Bitwise's CIO says that Bitcoin ETFs are being adapted at the fastest rate in history, fueling bullish crypto sentiment. Bitwise's CIO, Matt, says that Bitcoin ETFs are being adapted at the fastest rate in history, especially he says that institutions are coming, and they're coming in size, meaning that the top institutions are adopting Bitcoin through Bitcoin ETFs. In detail, Matt says that institutions are rapidly adapting to Bitcoin regarding ETFs and are entering the crypto markets at a pace never seen before. So not just Bitcoin, there's a perspective coming from the CIO of essentially Bitwise. And his perspective is there are more institutions than ever before going for Bitcoin ETFs, but not only that, there are more institutions than ever before entering the crypto space rapidly, is his own words. In detail, Matt says that institutions are rapidly adapting to Bitcoin and are entering the crypto market at a pace never seen before. In particular, these institutions are coming for their ETFs and the crypto space. The Bitcoin ETF approval ushered a greater adoption for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. The launch of Bitcoin ETFs were a huge win for the crypto community in the eyes of many analysts, as they saw this move as the legitimization, the use of Bitcoin, and fueling more capital flow into Bitcoin as a capable investment asset. On the other hand, other analysts view institutional adoption of Bitcoin and other cryptos as a loss for decentralization of more traditional institutions by BTC holding, leaving BTC for small investors to hold. There are obviously always two sides to every argument, but institutions being inside the crypto space is a positive, not a negative. Bitwise CIO expects more institutions to enter the space. As for Matt, he believes that institutions' adoption of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is just getting started, and expect to see more traditional financial institutions enter the crypto space and embrace greater possibilities. Matt also mentions that institutions have mostly diamond hands, meaning that they own large amounts of crypto, or Bitcoin in this case, regarding ETFs, and they're more likely to hold rather than sell. As I've said always, Bitcoin ETFs or Bitcoin in general adoption is good for the entire space. Two, as I've said always, there are more institutions entering the ranks than ever before. Perspective coming from CIOs Bitwise. And number three, as I've always said, is that essentially companies are more likely to hold. I said whichever company goes towards a crypto asset, they're going to be holding it for 5 years, 10 years, and so on. And that is why you don't see the price of Bitcoin drastically dropping, unless the majority of institutions that are holding it do one coordinated movement of a drop. But the reason why Bitcoin isn't doing drastic drops, or those price tags everybody wanted to Bitcoin to go, a lot of people will say Bitcoin is going to go down to 30,000, 20,000, 25,000, or 20,000 Bitcoins we're going to see. And I said that's not possible, because these institutions are buying and holding. You can't compare a mine site that comes from the retail section to an institution. An institution's mine site is buy, hold for 5 years, and let it grow in value. Because institutions look onto this one perspective, which is money is not made overnight, money is made over time for institutions. Retail section's mine site is, I want my money now, which ends up, jumping from one project to another. Institutions buy, hold for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. So that's why you'll never see drastic drops coming in when a large amount of institutions hold a certain amount of projects. Because whatever projects that a large amount of institutions are holding, there's a less likely chance that you'll see a drastic drop of a $60,000 project going to 25,000. There's a slim to none chance, unless they do a coordinated movement from all these institutions and drop their bags all at once, which is slim to none chance. So I've always said it's nice being repeated by CEOs and board members and executives of companies that I have no contact with. But CIOs, essentially Bitwise, repeated what I said back in 2023 and 2024 regarding the reasons why you won't see $20,000 Bitcoins. It's because too many institutions are holding at a very high number of volume. And you won't see drastic drops of $20,000 ever, unless they do coordinated movements from institutions to drop their bags. The S1 filings from the SEC show that there are more institutions holding Bitcoin ETFs than the retail section in terms of volume. And number two, regarding there are more traditional asset firms or traditional institutional firms inside the crypto space than ever before, is true. It's also the same perspective I had, which is a perspective that's now being repeated by Bitwise's CIO. So I'm telling you right now, as I've said, this year, more banks than ever before, more institutions than ever before, more regulations than ever before. The world is changing right in front of your eyes, and we are not that far off from regulations and cross-border payments and so on and so on. So have your patience. The world is transforming right in front of your eyes, right under your nose, you could even say. There are a lot of members of executive board members and CEOs that have said the next clientele are institutional clientele, something that I've repeated for a while this year. And regarding these members now coming out as well and saying there's a huge amount of list of institutions entering the crypto space, as I said before. So have your patience. We have more banks, more institutions, more regulations than ever before this year than compared to any other year. Why? Because the world is transforming into a digital era, this year, starting this year, as I said previously. I said this in 2023, that 2023 is the end of the road. 2024 is when the world starts transforming into a digital era. I said shifting into digital is exact words I used. So, thanks. Let's go over inside the comment section. Could we were here. Don't forget to hit the like button. No, okay. You didn't give your perspective. My perspective on the matter of using AI. I wouldn't mind. I mean, I use ChatGPT all the time. I use AI for my own business all the time. I've never had any sort of difficulties with it, but the idea of me using AI for doing payments is a bit of an issue. In case, the AI gets a bug in the system and tries to empty my wallet, those are concerns that I have with using AI that has access to my wallet. Because if AI has access to my wallet, then I always have the concern that maybe the AI would start to, get compromised, or the bot gets hacked and it just starts spending my entire budget on nonsense. And what am I going to be doing? Calling up the company and saying my bot lost the plot and ended up ordering too many things. I don't even know how to explain that to a company. So that's my main concern with using AI to do payments for me, in case it goes sideways and it orders too much of one particular product than it shouldn't do, and so on, and it just messes up the entire inventory. But using AI for emails and messages and business plans or business decks and so on, that's perfectly fine. Other than that, payments, we're not there yet. That's my perspective. Would El Salvador and Argentina be a good place to visit? Definitely. I mean, they're very crypto-friendly countries. Thanks, Genji. And I think AI and ICP or Utopia would be good for protecting exploited migrants who are missing, abused, or slave slavery. Yep. Kamala now likes crypto, but I don't trust left-wing politicians. Yeah, neither do I. I don't think anybody is. I'll be honest. You shouldn't really, Kamala's a very two-faced person. She will say one thing and do the other. She was a VP of a country, which did nothing and achieved nothing. My bot lost the plot. Which actually rhymes, by the way, I just realized. My bot lost the plot. So, on that basis, this was episode 135 of the CMF live show. Now, I know if you're watching this on X, it says episode 127, XRP CBDCs is what the title is. It's actually episode 135. But for some reason, the title won't change on X. There's a bug in the system. Technology, eh? There's a bug in the system and it says episode 127. And this is what I mean, how am I going to trust AI to do a payment for me when the technology that we have now can't even fix a bug in a system to fix the title? But this has been episode 135. On YouTube, it says it's episode 135 right now. People who are watching from YouTube, for them, it says episode 135. For people watching on X, it says episode 127 for the past 4 shows. But yeah, technology can't even get a title right, but apparently I'm supposed to trust it with my wallet. Now, if you enjoyed this live show, drop a follow, drop a like, and tune into it every single night. This was episode 135 of the CMF live show. It stands for Crypto Mouse Family, CMF, and we have our own Telegram group as well, which you can join, and everybody's very respectful together. Definitely a place, if you want to be surrounded by crypto people, definitely join the CMF on Telegram. It's completely free. The link is on X by just clicking on my profile on X, and then click on the link, and then click on the Telegram. If you watch this on YouTube, it's on my profile on YouTube as well by going to my About page on YouTube. If you enjoyed this live show, drop a follow, drop a like, and if you're not following already, follow. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you haven't commented, comment. It helps with the algorithm. El Salvador's president is not affiliated to any party, and he only wants the best for his country. I wish one like him in every country. I agree, Orphan. 100%. El Salvador's president is absolutely amazing. I might use that sentence for my little preppy students today to practice her handwriting. Let's go, Shelley. Good night and thank you, Miles. Mike, see you tomorrow, brother. Same time as usual. Another great program, Miles. Thank you so much for your dedication to our family. Scott, thank you so much for the kind words, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time as usual as well. I will be seeing everybody. And again, once again, if you're watching this for the first time ever, it's called the CMF Live Show, episode 135. You can tune into this live show every single night where I talk about the most recent things that's happening around the world in terms of cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, AI, politics, regulations, things for you to know about, vital information for you to know about the world transforming into a digital era. So if you enjoyed this live show, drop a follow, drop a like, subscribe if you already haven't, and retweet and comment because everything helps with the algorithm. Thanks, Miles, for your guidance to our path to wealth and freedom. Let's go. Shelley, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. Good night, Miles and family. Great live. Many thanks. See you tomorrow and have a good one. Ian, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. Pablo, night. See you tomorrow, same time as usual. Remind people to comment outside of the lives as well, Miles. Yes, thank you, Shelley, for reminding me. Yes, if you don't mind, completely optional. Very optional. If you don't mind, drop a comment on this live show, but after the live show is ended, in the comment section, because it helps with the algorithm. Even if it's a thumbs up or anything you want to type in, but drop a comment. Not inside. What I mean is not the comment section here. The comment section is perfect, but outside. So when I end the live, drop a comment if you want in the comment section of the video. Helps with the algorithm to grow the CMF family, to post the video even higher. See everybody tomorrow, same time as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you are around the world. Good night. Thank you, Miles. See you tomorrow, JP, same time as usual. Shelley, thank you so much for reminding me. And good night, Miles and CMF. Thanks for the great news. Let's go. Free forever. See you, JP, tomorrow. Shelley, see you tomorrow. Free forever. See you tomorrow. I'll see everybody tomorrow, same time as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you are around the world. CMF, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. This was episode 135. I definitely won't. Let's go. Hashtag CMF on YouTube and X. Yes, Shelley, thank you so much for reminding me. On YouTube and X, if you could comment on both of them, YouTube and X, inside the comment section. Completely optional if you want to. But, it helps to grow the family. Thank you, Shelley, for reminding me on YouTube and X. I haven't seen any ads, Miles. So the ads are slowing down. Good night, Miles, and get some rest. Let's go. Scott, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. Addy, good night, Miles. Another great live again. Let's go, Addy. Addy, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you're around the world. CMF, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. Done. Let's go, Scott. Thank you so much. Shelley, thank you so much for helping me out. See everybody tomorrow, same time as usual.